Hello and good morning. Happy Saturday morning. Welcome to Coffee and Crafting. I got my coffee. I got my crafts. So let's get started here because I have 3 fun little projects that I want to show you using this month's club design. So I have a crafting club which comes with a ready-to-go project every month, and I haven't gotten around to doing it yet, and being that this is the last day of the month, I need to do it. So this month's kit comes with this transfer. It's got a lot of like little fun little floral designs to it, and then it comes with this really cool like notebook. Move this light. It's not quite so bright. Okay, so anyway, it comes with this notebook, which is like a suede type paper on top, so it'll make it really easy for us to chalk on. And then it's like I mean, I guess you could do it this way, but I think it's intended to go like this. You just flip it on over, right? So that is the first project that came to mind, obviously, because that's how this was designed to be. So we're definitely going to do that. But I think I want to start with something a little different. We'll come back to this. But I have these little like treat style bags that I got from Hobby Lobby probably a couple years ago. I still have quite a few of them. So I thought this would be fun to use one of these floral designs on it and make like a seed bag. Because we like to plant, I have a decent sized garden. We also like to plant flowers. So we end up with a bunch of these little seed packets. You know what I'm talking about? Seed packets. And if you don't use all of the seeds in one, then you have all these seed packets, or I at least do, have all these seed packets just laying around my house. So I thought this would be a fun way to keep them organized. I'll probably come back and do another one with a different design for like my vegetables and whatnot. But being that this is floral, I thought that would be fun. Okay, so I tested this out and I know you fit in here. I am putting just this thin piece of wood inside of here to give it a little bit of stability and give me something a little bit more firm to chalk on. So I should have left it in here because I just did this. But anyway, just slide it in there. And that way it gives you like a little bit more of a base. Something that you can press on without, you know, like things moving on you. So let's start with this one because being that this is cloth, this is going to take us a little longer to dry. So this can be drying while we work on our other project. It's not exactly straight in there, but honestly, it doesn't probably really matter. But I thought this would be super fun. That way I've got like a little bag that I can keep all my extra flower seeds in. Keep them organized, keep them from, you know, disappearing or flying all over the place. And we're just going to go with it. We're going to see what happens. So I am going to, like I said, I haven't used this yet. So I need to cut it apart. So let's take our trusty trimmers and just go along this edge. There are cut lines, so it makes it pretty easy to do. And for the time being, I'm just going to cut out the section that I want. Come back and cut the other ones later. But anyway, what are you guys doing on your Saturday morning? Hopefully something fun. I don't really have a whole lot of plans for today, so we'll see where the day takes me. All right, let's just cut the bottom of this off like that. And we'll get project number 1 underway. And then we are going to do our notebook. And then just for the sake of using one of these other little floral designs, I'm going to make a cute little magnet to go on. I have a magnetic board here in my office that I use to just, you know, write down notes. It's a dry erase marker type board, but it also is magnetic. So that is not even close to straight. But anyway, but yes, I have this dry eraser board that's also magnetic here in the office that I use to just jot down notes on and stick little pieces of paper that I need to hang on to with. And I need a couple new magnets. I had a few on there, but they got moved out front. So I need to add to it. Okay, so I've got our sticky transfer onto our bag with this cute little floral, right? I think that's gonna be cool. Plus it's gonna signify to me that these are the flower seeds, not the vegetable seeds. All right, and I'm gonna use this dark blue color called Cadet. This, along with this lighter blue called Colonial Blue, are the two colors that come in your kit. So as I was saying, you get, you know, your surface, your transfer, a couple colors, everything you need to make a cool project. It's kind of fun. I like it. So I'm gonna snip, actually, I like whenever I do use these singles, I don't use the singles too often because I have jars, but when I do use the singles, I like to snip them from the bottom. That way I can still see the top part, which tells me what color it is. So if I don't end up using all that's in the packet, I know what's in there. So let's go and just squeeze a little bit of this paste out. This isn't gonna take a ton for now, but we are gonna end up using it on our other project. So let's set you there and hopefully we don't make a big mess, but that's okay. Let's just scrape like that. All right, and we may end up needing a little bit more of that because fabric tends to soak up the paste, but that's what we're doing. So oftentimes when I am working with a fabric, I will use ink because our ink is permanent once you heat it. But being that this will never get washed, I'm just going to use the same paste that comes in the packet just to show you guys that you can get multiple different projects with the one kit. They give you more than enough paste to do multiple projects. We need more. We do. All right, we're just gently pressing down and just gliding that paste all over this area. Doing my best to stay on the transfer so I don't get it just on the edge. But that looks pretty good. Go over it one more time because as I was saying, the fabric tends to soak it up pretty good. So sometimes with fabric, it's best to go over it twice just to make sure you get decent coverage. And then we should be good to go with this project. But this is going to be so handy in the spring whenever I start getting more of my seed packets. I'll just have a place where I can keep them and I will know where they are and that they're the flowers. Instead of going through them, because we have like this tote bag that we've been keeping them in for the last couple of years. And it's just a hodgepodge of like seeds and whatnot all over the place. So I'm hoping that this kind of keeps the process organized. Oh yeah, great. And we're just gonna slowly peel it up. And have, oh, that turned out perfect. Nice. I'm gonna set this over, where do I wanna set this? Let's just set it back on the backer sheet for now. And then I will come back and wash it here in a bit. But anyway, check it out. Make sure my hands are clean. This is gonna be great in the spring. So I'm gonna set this over to the side right quick, and then let's keep going with our notebook. Let's go ahead and do that one. And actually, I need to, let's cut this all up. And then let's actually paint the background of our little magnet. So I have a friend who does wood cuts with a laser machine. I'm so jealous. I want one so bad, but I don't really have any place to keep it. But anyway, I have a friend who does, and sometimes I get cuts from her, and they'll come with these little like standers that you can just glue on the back of your wood, and then it becomes, you know, like a freestanding thing. But oftentimes I use the cutouts completely differently. So I end up with all these like little, you know, little backers where ideally you would set it up like this, you know, but I'm actually going to turn it this way and turn it into a cute magnet. I just have a ton of, well, not a ton, but a few of those. So I thought, how fun, let's reuse that for something cool. Okay, so with that being said, this is going to take a little bit of time, so I am actually going to take this back off and set it way over here, but spray it with a little bit of water because I really like these florals and I want to be able to use them again, so I don't want my paste to dry. So I'll just give that a little spritz and we'll be good to go. Okay, so back to this. This won't take real long, but I do want to paint a background color. I don't like to chalk on raw wood because it seems to, I need a little piece of cardboard. It just seems to soak it up kind of oddly, and I don't know. I just prefer to put a base coat of like an acrylic paint or chalk paste or something down on it. That way it gives it a little bit of like, kind of seals the wood in a little bit, and then your chalk paste can lay much better on top of that. So anyway, let's do that right quick. I got a half a sponge over here just ready to go. All right, and I'm just using a very muted, like super light gray color. It's called Gray Sky. But anyway, like I said, I don't necessarily want a whole bunch of color because I want that blue to like really pop. But I also want there to be like, you know, just seal the wood a little bit. So it doesn't have to be perfect. Nothing has to be perfect in the craft room. You guys know that. And honestly, one coat's probably going to be good. So that is that. All right, let's move you over here. Let you dry. My little drying section. Now let's start working on this notebook. I think, well, I know I want to use this section here, and I probably need to add a little bit of fuzz, being that this is paper. I mean, like I said, it's a coated paper, so it'll probably be okay, but just for fun, let's add just a tiny bit of fuzz on the back. That way we don't have any issues pulling it up. Make sure we don't have anything that's landed on there. And let's lay this down. So I know I definitely want the floral. I'm trying to decide if I want the composition part. I really don't think I do. I think I just want the floral on the bottom. Or you know what? No. Let's get this to line up. It's sticky, which is cool, but it's giving me a little, maybe I should have fussed it a little better, but that's okay, we'll get it. Just wasn't very straight the first time. Okay, that's good. All right, press down, make sure we get all our air bubbles out. And I think what I'm gonna do for this top part is, because I don't want it to say composition book. Not that I'm against composition books by any means. I always thought those were fun in school. But that's not what I want here. So I am going to, if I can find the edge of my tape, kind of mask that off. Maybe. Well, where's the end of the tape? Really? There it is. Okay, and just kind of mask that off so I don't go over it. I'm gonna add a little bit of fuzz. I know this is strange, who fuzzes tape, but honestly, it makes it so much easier to take it off, and it's not gonna hurt anything. Okay, so I'm just kind of masking off this section because I don't want to forget and accidentally go over it. That would be no fun. That way, I know it is covered and I won't get into it. Okay, there's that. And then the rest of this should be okay because it's in the middle, but I do want to cover up this tiny little space there. Okay, good to go. Everything masked off, beautiful, great. I'm gonna do this all in the exact same color. Could do it multiple tones, you know, that's why they give you like the 2 different colors in your pack, but I'm just gonna stick with this pretty blue. And we're just going all in. We're gonna do the whole thing, and we're gonna do it fairly quickly so our paste doesn't dry. Okay, so get yourself a big old glob of it. Make sure your corners and your edges are pressed down, and we're just gonna go top to bottom and just cover. If it looks like it's getting to the point where we're starting to get some of this paste to dry, then we could definitely peel up and keep going. But I think we can do it. I'm gonna be quick, or at least I hope, anyway. We'll see. We shall see. But anyway, so I'm gonna use this notebook just for like little, you know, like design ideas and little craft ideas that I come up with when I'm in here. That way I can keep them all together, because right now I've been using sticky notes, and don't get me wrong, I love a good sticky note, but sticky notes have the tendency to, you know, migrate and go on vacation, whatever you want to call it. They just kind of like go places. So this way, all of my like fun ideas for new crafts will be all in one place. And then I'll be able to go back and look through them and see like, oh, did I do that yet? Did I not do that yet? Is that still a good idea? Was that just some like really squirrely idea that you had that really didn't work out? Or you know what I mean? That way we can go back and review them. I think that'll be so much easier than having sticky notes all over my desk. Keep it a little bit more organized. And that way I don't lose my ideas. Okay, we got her covered. Let's go through and pick up all of our, yeah, we are starting to dry those, so we need to hurry. Okay, hopefully we didn't dry too much. So let's start peeling. Oh no, we're good. We are good. So far, anyway. Keep going. Just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Got a little bit of paste in the middle of this, but I think, oh, there's like there's a strange little spot there. Let's see if we can cover that up. Awesome. Yeah, much better. Okay, and then just keep on wiggling. Let's get these florals free. Oh, that's really pretty. Okay, and then the same thing with that. Let's just plop this over here. Let's try not to touch it because it's very wet. And then we have that. You see that little space right in there though? Let's see if we can get that cleaned off. While we should be able to though. I need this. Let's see if we can get that cleaned up. Because apparently I went a little hard in there, but that's okay. This will come right off. Especially if you get it right away. Just take a little bit of water. That's the nice thing about these coated notebooks. And it is gone. Excellent. Okay, so I've got one more thing that I want to do with this though, but let's let it dry naturally a little bit. And then if we have to come in and dry it a little bit better, we can. But let's go ahead and do this final one here. Ideally, this paint is pretty well dry. Gave us really good coverage, so we only got to do one coat, which is awesome. And I want to put this tiny little flower on it and make a tiny little magnet. All right, so let's set this here. I need to actually spray this though. All right, good deal. Take care of your transfers and you'll be able to use them multiple times. That's what they're designed to do. Okay, so we're just adding a tiny bit of fuzz over here. We're going to do it at the angle. so I can get most of these flowers on here. They're not gonna completely fit, but good enough for me. Press out our air as always. And then this is not gonna take very much. Ooh, I made a big old mess. Let's grab another little squeegee so I don't get it all over myself, because I plopped that right in the extra. But anyway, okay, so we got our silk screen right on that little triangle. We're just gonna grab some more of this paste and cover it real lightly. Don't have to smash it down, don't have to press real hard, just gently go over it. And we will be good to go. And we will have 3 fun, different projects made with one transfer from our club, which is really cool. So if you guys, I don't like, you know, really talk about it much or press it, but if you guys are ever interested in like doing any of these projects and whatnot, just let me know. The club is definitely like the way to go, in my opinion, for starting out. You don't have to think about what colors go with what surface goes with what, anything. They just send it to you once a month. I think it ends up being like around 20 bucks or something like that, including shipping. So it's a fairly inexpensive way, and you know, like you can make multiple projects with it, so it's kind of cool. Oh, that's fun. That's really pretty. One more time. I have paste all over my table over here, but that's okay. It washes up with water. It's not a big deal. But look at that. That's gonna be super cute. Let's dry it. Won't take long for this to dry because it's not that much paste. So that way I can pick it off of there. Okay, there's that. This is not dry though. No way. There's no way. But the reason that I left that composition book part off of it is a friend of mine gifted me some cute little letter stickers not too long ago, and I thought it would be fun. Is that dry? Kind of close enough. Anyway, I thought it would be fun to incorporate some of these little letter stickers. So thank you, friend, for the letter stickers. He actually used them for a different, like a very specific project, and had no use for the rest of them. So he was nice enough to give them to me, figuring that I would probably use them for something. And this is what we're gonna use them for. So goodness, there's still some of that blue in there. It's my notebook, I can lick my finger. It's fine, I got it. So I am going to, actually I need to start with the middle, put my monogram in these stickers right in the middle here. If I can get the stickers to, I haven't used stickers like this in so long, but they're really cool. And these are like glittery, like shiny. Okay, so let's see if we can attempt to get this somewhat in the middle and straight. Again, it's my notebook, so if it's not perfect, it doesn't matter, but start with my middle initial, which is R. And then let's go with my first name, which is an A. A for April. It might be easier to do this way. Get it somewhat level. Is that good? No, I need to come up just a little bit. I was just saying it doesn't need to be perfect, and now that I got that R like right where I want it, I want to move this up. So let's see if we can scoot it up with this little tool here. Just a little bit. Yeah, that tool actually works really well. Okay, there's our A. And our R. And then I just need a W for my last name. And I will have a super cool, very personalized notebook to write my crafty ideas in. That's actually Not terrible placement for the first time. Let's scoot it over just a little bit, make it look a little bit more even. You know, obviously you could have just left it with the composition notebook, or you could come in with a marker and write your name or write whatever brilliant ideas or something fun on there. You don't have to use these little stickers. But like I said, being so my friend gave them to me, I am going to use them. Maybe. Well, definitely using them, but cool. All right, and press. Check it out. And, you know, still haven't figured out this camera thing, so obviously they're backwards, but you get the idea. Those are my initials. And now I have a fun little flip book to write my crafty ideas in. So thank you, friend, for gifting me these cute little letters. That really added to it. So I've got my composition notebook that we made. I've got my fun little soon-to-be floral seed bag that we made, all in the exact same color, using the exact same silk screen. And then here, just for fun, just because I really liked this tiny little flower in the bottom, we made a cool little soon-to-be magnet that I can use on my dry erase board to hold on to all those little Post-it notes. So this is going to, as a whole, keep myself a whole lot more organized. I'm going to know where all my flower seeds are. I'm going to keep all of my fun little crafty ideas in my notebook. And if for some reason I do decide to write on, as you can see, I have them everywhere. Post-it notes everywhere. If I do end up with some Post-it notes or something like that, they're everywhere, all over my desk. I'll be able to use my little magnet and stick it up on my dry erase board. Or just write it down in my notebook. All right, guys, well, that was fun. 1 transfer, 3 different cool projects. I kind of forgot about my coffee. Let's hope it's still, like, warm. Good to go. I got so excited talking to you guys, I forgot all about the coffee. But anyway, happy Saturday. I hope you guys are doing something awesome. 30 minutes, 3 cool projects, 1 transfer. I'm telling you, this club is a win. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Do something awesome. Stay warm or, you know, whatever else you got to do. And we'll see you again tomorrow. All right. Love y'all. Thanks. Bye.